sorry, that's for a Democrat show.
Let me know when you're ready. No matter what the technical difficulty is, this man is a professional. He goes all the way.
What you represent to them is freedom.
Was an extremely great conservative commentator. We're tearing it up on Wednesday night. This is awesome. This will allow me to retort.
Well, this is Jersey Joe for the Reaver of Common Sense show. 8 p.m. on shrmedia.com.
Actually, I just totally screwed up. This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome to the Reaver of Common Sense show. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm making sense out of the senseless. The Jersey takeover is here and out of focus. Let's see if that works. Come on. There we go. Now I'm in focus. No, seriously, guys, I'm in focus. That's just my ugly mug. The Jersey takeover is here. We have expanded it to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. till 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you want to watch a broadcast, go to Reaver.one and click on the live stream. Don't forget, if you want to support the show and support SHR Media, go to Reaver.one and click on the shop button. Pick yourself up a kick-ass t-shirt. How was everybody's Thanksgiving? Mine was nice, calm, and boring. Went over to my parents. It was just me and my parents. Ate. Had a good time. The dogs had fun. It was pretty busy with the dogs because, God dang this board. My parents have my old female German Shepherd. Long story. They have a Yorkie Poo now. An older Yorkie Poo that they took in. I have my German Shepherd and a Yorkie Poo. And my other brother has a German Shepherd. Well, him and his wife and his 2 kids went up to New Jersey to see my sister-in-law's family and spend time with them. We're all from, like, New Jersey, Pennsylvania area. And so he could need someone to watch his German Shepherd. Now, he's got a female that's a little bit of bitchy. I mean, she's not mean and nasty, but especially when it comes to other dogs, she can get a little... She has to be the queen. And they're not fighting so much. The female German Shepherd that lives there kind of taking control. Well, I take my male German Shepherd over there. And she's still young. I think she's only like 2, maybe 3 years old. My German Shepherd's about 4 or 5 years old. So he's a little bit older. He's calming down from his play stage. But she wants to play. He goes out there, and he knocks her on her ass. I mean, she goes right down. She gets up pissed. You can see she's mad, and she goes after him. All he does is let out one bark, one growl, and she drops to the ground and cowers to him. And I just start laughing. My mom starts laughing because she's been a bully to all the dogs. And mine comes over and just, I ain't taking your shit. And even my brother found out, and it was pretty much, and they went back to playing, you know. Went over, that was, Wednesday night. Thursday went over, I let him out there to play. They played, and she tried it again. And he put it right down. And my mom said, Wednesday, after we left, she went inside. She was calm. She didn't mess with the other dogs. She didn't try bullying the other dogs. She was calm. She laid down. It was like, my mom was like, damn. And she told my brother, and my brother was like, good. She kind of needs to be put in her place like that. I mean, there was no vicious biting. There was a couple snaps at each other, a growl or two. That's it. And it took her attitude right out of her. And why I bring that up, because it was funny, because Fox was talking about the sanctuary cities. There's more sanctuary cities, and they say they don't care about the financial fines, losing the financial federal money. And I think it was Wednesday, there was somebody from Fox on Twitter saying if you had one thing to say about the sanctuary cities, what would they do? Or what would you say? And I posted, why aren't these officials being charged with U.S. Code 1324? You know, I got a like from the guest host. I forget her name. And so I turn on Fox, as I always do. I just leave it running so if there's anything like breaking news, it'll catch in the corner of my eye, and I can let anybody know if there's any breaking news, any major incidents. And next thing you know, now I've never heard a news agency bring up U.S. Code 1324. And they're talking about the financial fines, and the host turns around and goes, but what about this? And starts talking about U.S. Code 1324. And points out, there's a section that if you hide, harbor an illegal alien, knowingly, unknowingly, and there's a death that takes place, you could be sentenced under the guidelines to life in jail. What that means is there's no time period on these charges. They don't go away. So that sheriff and the government officials that were hiding the illegal aliens in San Francisco and made it a sanctuary city, the moment that guy murdered Kate, what is it, Kate? Oh, my God. This is going to bug. This is annoying me. I had to look it up. Kate Steinle. Sorry about that. Those officials can get charged. Trump comes into office, he can have the DOJ look into it. The DOJ can charge those officials, and the penalty would be life in prison for those government officials. And that sheriff. Yes, he or she has been removed. But guess what? That doesn't forgive. That does not stop the fact that these people are breaking law. And one guy's like, well, do you really want to go this route, this violent route? It's not a violent route. You walk in, you arrest the top officials, the presidents of these universities, and you charge them. You probably only have to do it to one. You're going to see all of a sudden, oh, no, sorry, we can't help you. We can't break the law. That would be quicker and easier than pulling financial aid from the students. And at these places where, and it's these universities that charge $60,000 a year to go to. Well, if you're really worried about helping people, how about do away with those high costs? How about opening it up to the everyday people to be allowed to go into your university? How about you stop being so inclusive? I know, we won't see that happen. No. And I saw this weekend, of course, there's still a few never-Trumpers. There's this one, Bunny Foo-Foo. I have multiple accounts on Twitter. I have backup accounts just in case I get suspended. Not anymore. I've kind of faded away from Twitter. It's not my thing. And with everything going on, I really couldn't give a crap about Twitter. Now, this woman has had 2 radio shows. And she goes after people. She's just... She could just be nasty. She blocked one of my accounts, and she knows I'm on other accounts, and she hasn't blocked them. And she threw a hissy fit because I said, I remember back when your 2 shows. And she's supposed to be smarter than me. Her and her group tell me how much smarter and better they are than me. But she goes on that she doesn't know what I'm talking about, that I'm a stalker. Well, if I'm a stalker, if I'm wrong about the information, how am I a stalker? I know about her shows because she's one of the people that I started talking to about doing podcasts, which led into getting in touch with Sean, Sackhead Sean. And she threw a hissy fit. Oh, a stalker, blocked me. Well, anyway, she's running her mouth, her and her minions. And that's the funny thing. She can't do anything on her own. She's sitting there crying, saying they tried, the Trump supporters tried to get her fired and tried to get her child taken away. And then she talks later on. Number one, I was around when someone tried to get her fired, and it was actually a liberal that tried to get her fired. She's just outright lying. Then she goes on, well, they tried to have a kid that I don't even have taken away. And that was the excuse that she was using, that she didn't work at this place. Back when the incident happened, because I remember watching it all go down. And she starts this shit, and people get pissed and go after her. And then she plays the victim. And she can't have these arguments by herself. She has this like little protective minions that run around her. You go to have a conversation with her, and they jump in. One of them told me, he was like, quote my stats on this account. You are beneath me. Yeah. So I started looking at his stats, and I kind of laughed because, well, he's beneath my main accounts by his standards. I just, at that point, but they were going on. They didn't want to talk the policies that they were spouting. The mainstream media bullshit they were parroting. Trump's turning around. He's given up on what he said. He's changing his mind already. He lied to you guys. No, he didn't. You're believing in mainstream media bullshit. And he didn't argue any of the points that I countered back. He had to go into personal attacks. These never-Trumpers were never conservatives. They seem like more, what's the term, Republicrats. They're a Republican in names, but they're really Democrats because that's how they act. It's a joke to me. And I'm sitting here laughing. And the guy's making me laugh. And he said something like, I bet you're getting pissed. I'm like, no, it's Thanksgiving. I came on here for entertainment. You're nothing but a joke to me. And Bunny Foo-Foo's nothing but a joke anymore. These never-Trumpers just, oh my God. Lie, cheat, and steal. They really gone over the... And I was getting called the social justice. The S-O-C-J-U-S. Yeah, I'm not the one sitting here acting like a bunch of liberals. I'm not the one doing name-calling. I'm not the one that's sitting there insulting. So, yeah. And then, like I pointed out, and then all of a sudden it got kind of quiet. And then I pointed out that she cannot do anything. She cannot defend herself. She starts the problems, and then her minions come running to protect her. And then all of a sudden she's like, oh, I can't even hear him. Really? How do you know I'm saying anything yet? That's why I don't do Twitter much. because you can't have an opinion without some jackass attacking you. You can't have a conversation without the name calling going back and forth. These people get behind a Twitter account, behind a computer screen, and they hide like little children. And it's like the teenagers that's away from mom and dad the first time and found out they can cuss. So all they do is cuss. That's what these little idiots are like. Yeah, I know. I just insulted them. It gets tiresome. And they come at me and they attack. Jesus Christ, I've had death threats against me, for my opinion, by these never-Trumpers. Both sides acted like idiots. All four sides acted like idiots. You had the never-Trumpers, you had the Trump supporters, you had the liberals, then you had the independents. We all acted like idiots this election. Not every one of us, but a majority of them acted like idiots. Nobody wanted to talk policy, but everybody wanted to point out that they wanted to talk policy. Everybody just wanted to sling mud and insult and tell how stupid you are. That's all it was. Her and her following, and I've gotten into it before. That's not the first time. That's why I was like, why am I following this bitch anymore? She's nothing but a headache. She's a drama queen. And that's all Bunny Foo Foo is just a drama queen. She goes on there to start shit and watch her minions come running to her whim. And you know what? I have no problem helping people, but after so many times, you become an enabler. And they enable, we're going to come to the rescue of this female Bunny Foo Foo. We can't let people talk to her that way. Oh, she might write about us in Twitchy. I think that's what she's doing now. Last thing I heard. I don't know if she's still doing it. Lord knows if I remember something that she wrote on Twitter, because I actually got a memory here and there. It's her last radio show. Why I remember it and why she sticks out in my head so much is her show was on right before mine. And I got to listen to her Hillary-like screeching voice, just bitching and moaning every day about Trump. It's all she wanted to talk about. And I'm wondering if that's why she's no longer on the radio anymore. I really couldn't care why, but that's all she did. Bitch, 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 bitch. She didn't want to listen to any other opinion. It's absolutely ridiculous, and it's so tiresome. Now, I'm sure anybody that does Twitter understands exactly what I'm talking about, and it's getting to the point. Twitter was supposed to be a place for everybody to give different opinions, and for people to jump in and give their opinion on stuff. It's not supposed to be everybody just bitching and moaning when someone gives their opinion. I may not like something somebody says, but I'll come back and I'll talk to them about it. Or try to. I'll try to point out where I have a different opinion. And it's the same thing with Facebook anymore. This election just was nasty. So now they're trying to make an issue. Trump has only gotten 2 intelligence briefings since he took over. Well, since he became president-elect. Well, that's 2 more than Obama has gotten his whole term. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media, High Plains Pundit Radio, ICRN Network. Nope. Oh, God. Memory, go away. We will be right back. Whoops. Wrong one. Dang it. I looked and I could have sworn I had this covered. Oh. I can't find the file. There it is. Let's try this again. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media, High Plains Pundit Radio, YouTube, Speaker, and iTunes. We will be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
Hey, it's Sean from the Sackheads Radio Show, also one of the owners here at the SHR Media Network. Are you opinionated? Have you ever wanted to do your own show? Have you ever heard somebody like the Sackheads and go, yeah, I could probably do that better? Well, now's your chance. Send me a 5-minute clip at sackheadsradio@gmail.com, and maybe you can be part of the SHR broadcasting team. sackheadsradio@gmail.com.
Now, Brownells, we know you may have only one shot to harvest that trophy, so we have thousands of accessories and replacement parts to improve your chances. We know how much you love to shoot, so our gunsmiths articles and videos will help you do more and get more out of your guns. We also value your hard work and money. That's why only Brownells backs up everything we sell with a 100% unconditional lifetime guarantee. Brownells, the world's largest supplier of firearm accessories and gunsmithing tools.
The bloviating Zeppelin. He's big-footed enough radio shows to last a lifetime, courtesy of Sean, Clint, Ken, and Jersey Joe. Now it's time for him to waddle on his own 2 feet. Via the glorious SHR Media. Gird thy loins for the bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon. Coming soon to Ossicles near you. Excelsior.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. You didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying cow from a stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reaverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense show. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm making sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeovers here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you want to watch the broadcast, it's very easy. Go to that's all, folks. If you want to watch a broadcast, go to Reaver.1 and click on the live stream. If you want to support the show and support SHR Media, go to Reaver.1 and click on the shop button. Oh, cracked my neck. Oh. All right, we have this whole protest going on the Dakota Access Pipeline. And it's getting nasty out there. It really is. There's a lot of misinformation going on and a lot of covert information. And I don't know, I'm not trying to get in the whole discussion of it, but what I am going to talk about, for those that didn't know, Florence Henderson passed away last night. And if you don't know who Florence Henderson, she was the mom on the Brady Bunch. She passed away last night, and I think she was a mom to a lot of us growing up. She was our second mom. So, I'm just going to give a moment. To her family, my condolences. She made a lot of people happy. Now, sorry about jumping there. The Dakota Access Pipeline, there's a lot of protesting going on out there right now, and it's absolutely horrible. You have a female, she's 21 years old, and there's a good chance she might lose her arm right now. Her father is blaming the law enforcement that's on scene. He's saying that they threw some kind of grenade right at her, knowing she was right there, and they threw it right at her, and it's damaged her arm. They're talking she's going to need over 20 surgeries. It's pretty nasty. I'm pulling up the article right now on her father. He's trying to say that some kind of concussion grenade or something, a flashbang. And the sheriffs are saying nothing like that was used at that time. Now, there is now reports coming out that while they were advancing, and this group was advancing, and they turned, I believe it was water hose on the people. Now, these protesters have already attacked the police, have already turned violent on multiple occasions. They noticed 3 people messing with a burned-out car that these protesters set on fire. They had no reason to be over there messing with these cars. And long story short, they heard an explosion. And when they went to advance to see if everybody was okay, they saw 2 of the men grabbing a female and pulling her away. Now, at the same time as this, the father's claiming the police threw a concussion grenade and injured his daughter. And everything's lining up. All of a sudden, there's one female that shows up. I guess they set up a medic tent for the protesters. At this time, one female shows up at the medic tent and gives the story that the police threw a concussion grenade at her. She goes to surgery, yada, yada. She's going through multiples. I don't see, not saying it's not true. I'm trying to stay pretty neutral here, but I don't see the cops going, hey, let's throw this concussion grenade right at this woman. That'll be fun. No, they know the damage it can do. And they're using concussion grenades so that they don't have to use lethal force. Her arm is severely injured, and that's, no matter which way we look at it, that's sad within itself. And the police talk about because the protest has turned violence on multiple occasions. They are armed with a single-shot 40-millimeter launcher that shoots foam/sponge baton rounds, think Nerf on steroids, as well as a 12-gun shotgun that's painted orange that fires one of several different rounds, crowd-control payloads, ranging from beanbags to neoprene. Think wetsuit turned into a slug. There's a protest going on in Chicago right now of the people angry over what they say is the city's inaction on police violence. Where are the fucking protests for the violence that the citizens are committing on the citizens themselves? Oh my God. This is why I don't take this stuff seriously. I can't believe so many people are so easily swayed by these scumbags, groups, Soros, and all that. It just amazes me. They'll protest And I bet you if we look, they're bringing up a couple of names. I bet you we look, they're criminals. But they're not going to protest about the innocent people that are getting killed by gangs. The hundreds of them. That's why I do not believe any of these goddamn bullshit protests anymore. All right, back to at the Dakota Access Pipeline protest. Officers have been relying on fire hoses to stop the arson fires set by protesters. And then they've used the same hose to douse protesters when they are in close distance to within 10 to 15 yards of police position. They also are using launchers and tear gas canisters. None of that right there within itself is going to injure the woman. Now, what they're saying, the law enforcement is saying, at approximately 3 a.m. Monday morning, a 21-year-old protester was wounded in a small explosion. Coincidentally, a young woman at the same remote place at the same exact time was wounded trying to plant an IED. Law enforcement say they're investigating the use of a homemade explosives at a Dakota Access Pipeline protest. They have recovered weapons and are investigating whether or not they are related to the injury of a female protester. Now, of course, there was some woman that on Facebook, I'm anti-police and I don't believe what the hell they say, yada yada. Well, you might have to. Well, they could plant evidence and say after the fact that this bomb went off, there's no way to prove. Stop right there, honey. Because, yes, there is. It's very easy. Number one, with the police equipment they use, there's markers put into everything. There's markers in the chemicals, so it's easy to detect who and where they came from. But what the police are saying is about 3 o'clock, protester activity had de-escalated near the backwater bridge, but they noticed 2 males and a female using a barricade to hide their activity. Officials say they gave repeated orders for the 3 people to come out from behind the barricade, and they attempted to force them out with less than lethal beanbags. It was then the officers noticed that the protesters approached and rolled multiple metallic cylinder objects. The subjects were given opportunities to retreat back, but it became obvious that they were tampering with the vehicle or planting a device. Their strange mannerism led law enforcement to believe they were there for a purpose with a calculated effort to either cause harm or breach the line. The officer says after the cylinders were rolled, law enforcement witnessed an explosion. Several protesters ran to the area, pulled a female from under the vehicle, and fled the scene. Law enforcement received information that protesters were using 1-pound propane cylinders as explosives. The North Dakota Bureau of Criminal Investigation, with support from ATF, recovered 3 of these propane canisters from the site of the explosion. Investigators also collected rocks and glass jars consistent with the design of a Molotov cocktail that were used as weapons against law enforcement. It was also the female, after the female was pulled away from the site of the explosion, that the original, Miss Wylansky, who is the one that says that the cops threw something at her, was brought back to the protest medic at the same time this explosion, right after this explosion happened. And those protesters pulled that woman from underneath the car. All of a sudden, this woman shows up in the protest, claiming the police concussion grenade injured her. Curiously, none of the protesters have been able to provide video, photos, or physical evidence of the police possessing, much less deploying such a device, as police officers deployed on the site do not use concussion grenades. We're going to continue this after the break. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right after... Well, you're listening to it still, but we will be back right after this brief message.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
Hey, it's Sean from the Sackheads Radio Show, also one of the owners here at the SHR Media Network. Are you opinionated? Have you ever wanted to do your own show? Have you ever heard somebody like the Sackheads and go, yeah, I could probably do that better? Well, now's your chance. Send me a 5-minute clip at sackheadsradio@gmail.com, and maybe you can be part of the SHR broadcasting team. sackheadsradio@gmail.com.
Now, Brownells, we know you may have only one shot to harvest that trophy, so we have thousands of accessories and replacement parts to improve your chances. We know how much you love to shoot, so our gunsmiths articles and videos will help you do more and get more out of your guns. And we also value your hard work and money. That's why only Brownells backs up everything we sell with a 100% unconditional lifetime guarantee. Brownells, the world's largest supplier of firearm accessories and gunsmithing tools.
The bloviating Zeppelin. He's big-footed enough radio shows to last a lifetime, courtesy of Sean, Clint, Ken, and Jersey Joe. Now it's time for him to waddle on his own 2 feet. Via the glorious SHR Media. Gird thy loins for the bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon. Coming soon to Ossicles near you. Excelsior.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplains.dailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. You didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying cop for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reaverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm making sense out of the senseless. I'm dumbfounded over here. We'll get to that article and why I'm dumbfounded momentarily. Holy shit. Should stop that. There we go. Now back to the Dakota pipeline protest that's going on. The woman that shows up, she says that the officers threw a concussion grenade, thinking, they can't prove nothing. Well, logic so far, it's adding up that she is probably the female authority saw wounded in the explosion from the propane canister. IED, and all they have to do is they recovered the canister. Yes, they recovered the canister that blew up, and they recovered the shrapnel from the woman's arm. They have recovered her clothing, and all they have to do is match the shrapnel to the metal, which is not that hard. Then God help her, because she will be charged with attempted murder and domestic terrorism for attempting to use a bomb against law enforcement officers. What's scary is there's a lot of misinformation given to these protesters, and that's what scares me. And they go after these groups, go after these people that can be simply manipulated. That's what this is. These protests are people that can be simply manipulated. We have the protests in Chicago going on right now. In Chicago, about supposed police brutality. But the people are killing each other by the hundreds. But nothing goes on there. We got Kaepernick running his mouth again. And, you're going to love that one. He didn't expect the media to turn on him. But there's an update there's several updates within this article. The Martin County Sheriff's has released additional photos of the evidence recovered from the site, including a photo that seems to suggest the possibility of blood and human tissue on one of the recovered propane tanks, which is, they could possibly get DNA off that and match it to the woman. I don't think she realized. I mean, they don't think about it when they do this dumbass shit. That it's easy, and the technology they have to trace and connect these devices. These are people that all they deal with day in and day out is explosive devices. But the father is bitching and moaning, saying that agents with the FBI Joint Terrorism Task Force have confiscated the clothes his daughter was wearing. Wayne reported that, who's the father, the attack on his daughter, reported the attack on his daughter to the FBI and Justice Department, he said, adding that the Justice Department is investigating, but as in his description to Democracy Now!, the FBI appeared to behave as though they were investigating Sophie rather than her assailants. Sophie was waiting to go to surgery, and they basically keeping us prisoner inside her hospital room, waiting for a warrant, which never came. They didn't tell us what they were there for many hours. Eventually, I got to speak to a supervisor and learned that they were looking for her clothing. And I did eventually consent. I had taken her clothing back to the hotel room the night before, and I did consent to give them the clothing, eventually, after talking to the supervisor. I have an unwritten agreement, but I put it in writing anyway, that they will give me access to those materials so that I can test them as well, and that they'll preserve and do not destroy that evidence, because I would want to see it, and I would have to have it forensically tested myself. One FBI agent was wearing a jacket identifying him as a member of the Joint Terrorism Task Force. The JTTF will be looking to test Sophie's clothes to determine whether the explosive device caused her injuries came from an IED created by protesters, or if it was a type of explosive device that the Martin County Sheriff officers and North Dakota Highway Patrol denied possession, much less deploying at the site of the protest. Again, these items that the law enforcement use have markers embedded in them. They're embedded in the chemicals. So it's very easy to identify. And most people don't know that. The father doesn't know that. So we'll see how it goes. That's going to take a little bit of time. But also the type of metal, that won't be hard to determine. And what's also going on is a lot of misinformation. The pipeline encroaches on indigenous lands. That's wrong. 100% of landowners in North Dakota voluntarily signed easement to allow for construction on their pipeline. Pipeline exposes the tribe's water supply to contamination. Pipelines are by far the safest way to transport energy, liquids, and gases. There's already 8 pipelines that cross the Missouri River carrying hundreds of thousands of barrels of energy products every day. The tribal community was not part of the discussion. 389 meetings took place between the U.S. Army Corps and 55 tribes. There was dozens alone with the Standing Rock Sioux tribe. And based on input from a number of sources, the pipeline route was adjusted in September of 2014. The pipeline is disrupting areas of cultural significance. Safeguards in ensuring the longevity of cultural significant artifacts and sites is of interest to all Americans. That's why the pipeline traversed a path on private property, and it parallels an existing infrastructure, the Northern Border Pipeline, and high-voltage transmission power lines. This area has already been under construction twice. Designing the route to parallel existing infrastructure mitigates any additional impact to the environment and avoids areas of potential cultural significance. Additionally, on site, there are professional archaeologists who are able to identify and properly tend to artifacts and evidence of cultural significant sites. If any not identified in the survey are discovered. The on-site protests have been peaceful. Unfortunately, the emotionally charged atmosphere has led to several outbreaks of violence, which has endangered the safety of workers and protesters themselves. Protesters have rushed police lines, threatened and assaulted private security officers, and thrown rocks and bottles at workers. And let's remember, the work that is being done is in full accordance with state and federal regulations on private property, not on reservation lands. There's a photo being put around saying that a security dog mauled a young girl. That photo is a doctored photo. And it is originally from a June 2012 article in the New York Daily Times. Heat-riled dog bites face of Texas toddler. And when it comes to the water that they're talking about, the water intake is scheduled to be moved by the end of this year. The Missouri River intake serving the tribe is being switched to Mobridge, South Dakota, nearly 50 miles south of the current water intake and about 70 miles south of the planned Dakota Access River crossing. There's a lot of misinformation being pushed around, people. Make sure. And that's funny because the left keeps screaming, there's fake news, they're fake news. Where's that article? I'll do that now. I can get through that real quick. NPR actually found the godfather of fake news, and he's a liberal Democrat in California. He owns a large percentage of these fake news sites, and it wasn't hard to find them. It really isn't. He's a liberal. Now, he says that he does it, and he creates these articles to point out the neo-Nazis and the white supremacists, all that bullshit. No, he does it because he's trying to make the right look bad. That's why he does it. He creates these, and now they're picking up, oh, look at these fake news. They create this fake news. The right creates. No, it's the left. They own these sites and write these sites, people. Watch what you're spreading because it is the left trying to make us look bad. They've done it. They've tried to make us look violent. Now they're creating these fake news sites, which Democrats blame for President-elect Donald Trump's victory. And it's a liberal Democrat that created them. And it's Justin Kohler. Justincoler. He is listed as the founder and CEO of a company called Disinfo Media. They own many, many fake news sites. And he won't say how many. But he says his is one of the biggest fake news business out there. He agreed to the interview with NPR, and he started this fake news empire back in 2013. It's funny because he publishes these blatant, false, and fictitious stories and then is able to publicly denounce those stories and point out the fact that they were fiction. So he creates them, and then he points out they're fake. Isn't that a gig? He says that left-wingers are less gullible. The only thing is that the one of the largest social media sites, Occupy Democrats, produces fabricated, exaggerated stories for liberals to share on Facebook and elsewhere. He makes money off of doing this. He enjoys making a mess of the people that share the content that come out of our site. It's not just the financial incentive for me. I still enjoy the game, I guess. So he enjoys putting out false information. Hey, President Obama, when are you going to condemn one of your own people for doing it? You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on HP Pundit and SHR Media. We will be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
Hey, it's Sean from the Sackheads Radio Show, also one of the owners here at the SHR Media Network. Are you opinionated? Have you ever wanted to do your own show? Have you ever heard somebody like the Sackheads and go, yeah, I could probably do that better? Well, now's your chance. Send me a 5-minute clip at sackheadsradio@gmail.com, and maybe you can be part of the SHR broadcasting team. sackheadsradio@gmail.com.
Now, Brownells, we know you may have only one shot to harvest that trophy, so we have thousands of accessories and replacement parts to improve your chances. We know how much you love to shoot, so our gunsmiths articles and videos will help you do more and get more out of your guns. And we also value your hard work and money. That's why only Brownells backs up everything we sell with a 100% unconditional lifetime guarantee. Brownells, the world's largest supplier of firearm accessories and gunsmithing tools.
The bloviating Zeppelin. He's big-footed enough radio shows to last a lifetime, courtesy of Sean, Clint, Ken, and Jersey Joe. Now it's time for him to waddle on his own 2 feet via the glorious SHR Media. Gird thy loins for the bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon. Coming soon to ossicles near you. Excelsior.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplansdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying cop for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as is the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the Reaver of Common Sense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm making sense out of the senseless. At least I try. I don't know. It's one of the things, if I can make one wish within this political realm, is that celebrities, musicians, as much as they have freedom of speech, but I wish they would keep their opinions to themselves on politics. And why I say that, it's smart for them, because they're going to alienate a base. And I have been a huge GNR fan since I first heard him. But Axl Rose recently shot his mouth off, and that I'm getting tired of that. And then Duff McKagan just showed how much of a fucking moron he really is. I wish he would just stick to playing bass. Just stick. Now, he calls himself an armchair historian. And he gets talking about guns. And he talks about how AK-47 should be banned, background checks should be expanded, and the NRA's concern over certain politicians should not be believed. You're a moron. You are a moron. He goes on, as I said, he describes himself as an armchair historian. And then, quote, "So let's do some tweaking. Background checks for all gun sales. Hell yes, right? What's the argument against that? Banning AK-47s and the like? Probably a damn good idea, right? Who needs them? I'm just a regular guy, neither pro nor anti-gun. I understand and respect the right to bear arms. But do some of you actually think we maintain this right still for the sole purpose of in case of our government somehow takes over, as opposed to fighting off the English imperialistic and monarchy of 1775? This all seems as basic to me as banning sales of guns here for people who are on the no-fly list. Is there something I am missing? Well, yes, there's a lot you're missing. And one of the things is, but do some of you actually think we maintain this right still? Yes. It's one of the main reasons it was written. First, our founding father, James Madison, made clear that the reason Americans own gun is to repeal tyranny. He wrote this in Federalist 46, you moron. And a document armchair historians ought to read and know about. Then he goes on about the no-fly list. The no-fly list is very, very unreliable. There's countless Americans on that list. And lastly, it violates due process. Something that's kept your dumbass out of jail probably once or twice. Because, there's that whole accusation that all rockers are drug addicts. Yeah, they couldn't arrest you because that would have violated your rights. They couldn't throw you in jail without a trial because that would violate your rights. But Duff McKagan, you want to go ahead and throw all these people and convict them of crimes that they weren't even accused of, didn't have a trial, but take away their constitutional rights just because someone thinks they could be a terrorist. And there's many Americans that are on it. My brother is on it because of his name alone and will never, ever get taken off the list. And simply doing that background, that no-fly list, places allegations on par with verdicts. And this is going to be a little bit long list, so bear with me. But the person who did this article really did a great job on the list. Background checks do not stop criminals. Background checks did not stop the guy that shot my father. Because even if they can't get it through a background check, they're going to find him illegally. But here's a list. And all of them acquired their guns via background check. The New York bombing suspect on September 19th. Orlando attacker on June 12th. UCLA gunman from June 1st. San Bernardino attackers on December 2nd, 2015. Colorado Spring attackers, October 31st, 2015. The Impact Community College attacker, I know I'm butchering that name, my apologies. October 1st, 2015. Allison Parker's attacker, August 26th, 2015. Lafayette Movie Theater attacker, July 23rd, 2015. Chattanooga attacker, July 16, 2015. The Manual African Methodist Episcopal attacker, June 17th, 2015. The Mohammed Cartoon Contest attacker, May 3rd, 2014. Las Vegas Cops killer, June 9, 2015. Santa Barbara attacker, May 23rd, 2014. Fort Hood attacker, April 2nd, 2014. Arapahoe High School attacker, December 13th, 2013. The D.C. Navy Yard attacker, September 6, 2013. The Aurora Movie Theater attacker, July 20th, 2012. Gabby Giffords attacker, June 8th, 2011. Fort Hood attacker, November 5th, 2009. And the Virginia Tech attacker, April 16th, 2007. And many others. And moreover, the Paris has expanded background checks, and they also had 130 innocents gunned down on November 13th, 2015, and 12 more gunned down on January 7th, 2015. How's that, Duff McKagan, for your background checks? But McKagan wasn't done there. No, he wasn't. He's encouraging gun owners to ignore emails from the NRA and said it is not realistic to believe politicians can actually take away guns. And I quote Duff McKagan, "If you are a gun owner in this country and you actually think somebody is going to come to your house and take away your guns, maybe you shouldn't be a gun owner. Just my 2 cents. Educate yourself on the amendments and the Constitution to which they were added. An actual repeal of an amendment would have to pass through 2/3 of both legislative bodies and then be ratified by 2/3 of 50 states. It will never be repealed simply because there is no way 38 states will vote against guns." Well, Mr. McKagan, you say politicians can't take away your guns. But in the same article, you started out by supporting politicians on banning guns. You want them to ban AK-47 and the like. So which is it, Duff McKagan? You can either have them banned or you can't have them banned. Again, maybe you ought to stick to playing bass. And that's what happened. These people stick their foot in there. I don't want to ban guns, but I want to ban this gun and this gun and this gun and this and this and this and this, but we don't want to ban guns. You half-witted nerf herders. But remember, people, remember, the Dow Jones is going to collapse as soon as Trump is elected. We have a record high. That has nothing to do with Trump. I'd love to see Duff McKagan come out and apologize for his statements. Nah, he's not such a great armchair historian. Well, very simple. There's a list of celebrities I won't listen to. There's a list of musicians I won't listen to. I haven't listened to Rage Against the Machine in God knows how long because of their jackassery political views. So, just add another one to the list. And this I found today, and it's kind of funny. The 49ers played the Miami Dolphins in South Florida, in Miami, which is a heavy Cuban population. So, dumbass Kaepernick decides he's going to wear a Chavo, or not Chavo, crap. A Castro shirt, Fidel Castro with Malcolm X. And he's going to wear it in a high Cuban area where they fled Cuba because of Fidel Castro. Well, I guess the reporters didn't like that, and it turned it into a heated political debate. When pressed about the shirt, Kaepernick first pointed out that Malcolm X was also pictured. Kaepernick said he supported Malcolm X and his willingness to be open-minded before forming his own view of the world. Part of that open-mindedness, he said, was meeting with the Cuban leaders. He was not talking about Castro and his oppression. I'm talking about Malcolm X and what he's done for people. The reporters did not back down and confronted Kaepernick after the quarterback steered the conversation away from the uncomfortable topic of Castro. And Kaepernick shot back, one thing that Fidel Castro did is they have the highest literacy rate because they invest more in their education than they do in their prison system, which we do not do here, even though we're fully capable of that. Hey, forget about the executions that they've done just for having a differing opinion. I love these idiot, high-paid celebrities and sports figures. It's breathtaking. blatantly stupid. When the reporter challenged Kaepernick on Castro's history of breaking up families, Kaepernick responded, "We do break up families here. That's what mass incarceration is. That was the foundation of slavery, so our country has been based on that as well as the genocide of Native Americans." When is Kaepernick going to come out and condemn Africa? They still have slavery going. When is him and all these other righteous idiots going to condemn Africa, the Middle East? They still have slavery to this day. We are the only country that went to war to end slavery. And it's been ended almost 200 years. After the South Florida media cited a Sports Illustrated studies which said that many fans stopped watching the NFL because of Kaepernick's anthem protests, he responded by blaming the fans. "They're not watching football because of my stance about fighting systematic oppression and wanting the same equality and freedom for all people. I would say they probably need to look in the mirror at what they value. You know, if they're okay with people being treated unfairly, being abused, being harassed, being terrorized, then the problem is more with what they're doing in their lives than about watching football." Oh. Way to piss off more people, and the NFL just keeps shutting their mouth and allowing it. He has the right to say what he wants, but when one NFL player, Don Jones, tweeted, "Oh my God," and horrible about Michael Sam, who was the first drafted openly gay man, kissed his boyfriend on live television, he was suspended and fined. Many players have been suspended and fined for their opinion. But Kaepernick gets to spout off and destroy the NFL with no repercussions. It's unbelievable. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media, High Plains Pundit Radio, YouTube, Speaker, and iTunes. We will be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
Hey, it's Sean from the Sackheads Radio Show, also one of the owners here at the SHR Media Network. Are you opinionated? Have you ever wanted to do your own show? Have you ever heard somebody like the Sackheads and go, "Yeah, I could probably do that better"? Well, now's your chance. Send me a 5-minute clip at sackheadsradio@gmail.com, and maybe you can be part of the SHR broadcasting team. sackheadsradio@gmail.com.
Now, Brownells, we know you may have only one shot to harvest that trophy, so we have thousands of accessories and replacement parts to improve your chances. We know how much you love to shoot, so our gunsmiths articles and videos will help you do more and get more out of your guns. We also value your hard work and money. That's why only Brownells backs up everything we sell with a 100% unconditional lifetime guarantee. Brownells, the world's largest supplier of firearm accessories and gunsmithing tools.
The bloviating Zeppelin. He's big-footed enough radio shows to last a lifetime, courtesy of Sean, Clint, Ken, and Jersey Joe. Now it's time for him to waddle on his own 2 feet via the glorious SHR Media. Gird thy loins for the bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon. Coming soon to Ossicles near you. Excelsior.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, A merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying cough for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking, drinking, drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reaverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I'm your host, Jersey Joe, with an itch on his head. Oh, I'm trying to make sense out of the senseless, but some days it is extremely daunting task. So a BritX backer instructs lawyers after Washington Post Josh Rogan implies criminal connection on CNN. This needs to happen more often. These people need to be held accountable to their wild, inflammatory statements and accusations. All these idiots need to be held. There's a joke running around on Facebook, or excuse me, Twitter, one of those memes, and it has a picture of Wolf Blitzer And it says, breaking news. Donald Trump appoints another white supremacist, Ben Carson, to housing secretary. And that's how ridiculous they are. Everyone, it's white supremacist, racist, white supremacist, misogynist. Knock the shit off. You sound like you're worse than the boy who cried wolf. You're destroying your credibility worse than it already was. You're pissing off more Americans away from the Democrat Party. And you're embarrassing our country. CNN has been under attack for a while now for the accuracy of its coverage. And it rightfully deserved, too. And they want to talk, and they're pushing this narrative of fake news. They are the main source of fake news. But this time it's because after contributor Josh Rogan implied live on the air that BritX financer Aaron Banks was linked to the Russian government. What we are seeing is a not-so-covert effort to realign America's foreign policy with all these parties who are engaged in an anti-European project, probably funded with Russian money. That's a real thing. Challenged by fellow panelist Ben Ferguson, who himself poured scorn on the idea of Mr. UK ambassador to the United States, Mr. Rogan added, "It's in the Panama Papers. Check it out. Google it. It's in there. Aaron Banks." And then he tries tying this to Trump. God, they just... Hillary's had more fucking contact with Russia. She's gone to more private parties with Russia. She's gone to Putin's home multiple times. Who gave the reset button? But they want to run this. The liberals have literally lost their fucking mind. But Mr. Banks has since informed the news that he has already instructed lawyers to investigate a defamation claim against CNN or Mr. Rogan. And Mr. Banks did indeed appear in the Panama Papers, the greatest extent of his involvement in them appearing to be owning shares in companies. The Guardian reported that in owning shares in companies based in the British Virgin Islands and Gibraltar, Mr. Banks had done nothing illegal, and no mention of any Russian interests were included in the report. The Guardian reported this. Mr. Rogan then began tweeting after the show to paranoid reports of Russian influence in the European Union. The most recent, entitled "The Kremlin's Trojan Horses," was compiled by a Washington, D.C.-based think tank named the Atlantic Council. Seems the left is falling for its own false news and being destroyed by its own false news. The council, known as a hawkish and internationalist outfit, itself admitted to receiving money from state-owned assets in Turkey, as well as from the government of Bahrain, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, and indeed the United Kingdoms. And Kazakhstan. The organization has also received funding from NATO and the European Commission, the executive arm of the European Union. But the council alleges that it is Russia that is involved in state meddling in foreign affairs, Whether it's reports claiming that Nigel Farage, Le Pen, and other populist politicians had Russian sympathies rather than simply being anti-EU and not wanting war with Russia. It's funny, the group that's supposed to be anti-war seems to be pushing for the fucking wars. They're out to piss Russia off. And what is wrong with Donald Trump wanting to get along with another country that we've been having issues with for years? What's wrong with that? Why are the Democrats pushing that we have to have this fake war with Russia? We have a president who talks that Trump needs to be strict with Russia. He hasn't done shit to Russia with everything that Russia has done. He hasn't backed Crimea. He didn't do nothing with Czech. He didn't help. I know I'm messing up. It's not Czech. Can't think of the country. Syria. He drew a red line. Backed down multiple times. Russia has been buzzing our aircrafts, which is an act of war. And he hasn't even condemned those acts. But he wants Trump to be strict with Russia. And he says Trump is the one in bed with Russia. We have Obama on tape saying if I win the election, it's no problem. I don't have to worry about being reelected. And we can Russia do whatever they want. That's fine. Oh, now the left, I brought it up. They're trying to attack the frequency that Trump's getting intel briefings. This coming from a presidency administration that refuses to take intel briefings. It's I don't know about anybody else. The more they scream Russia, the more they look desperate to me. So Reddit CEO is coming under fire. He admits changing comments to direct user insults at pro-Trump moderators. People were going after the CEO and attacking him. Then the next day, it seemed all the comments were switched to attack a pro-Trump moderator. Well, the CEO has come forward and admitted he had it switched, which makes a lot of people scared because it can get switched. Your comments can get switched and changed without your knowledge. That's scary as hell, people. You can make a comment, and these CEOs can go in and change your comment and hide the tracks. That really... Now, what really bothers me is Reddit was quoted several times during this election with its anti-Trump information. How accurate was that information then? It's... Here it is. This, unfortunately, calls into question the validity of any post made on the entirety of Reddit and raises sincere concern beyond the Donald. Fake news outlets often cited Reddit posts, which are now revealed to be entirely falsifiable by the admins with no trace. How easy would it be if one of these CEOs or admins wanted to frame somebody to go in and switch a comment and switch it to a death threat, an assassination threat. You don't make the comment. But one nice thing is there is a site that basically takes pictures of every website every day, and you're able to find those comments. Someone was able to do it where he saw the comments he put on one day. The next day he looked, and the comment had changed, and he was able to go into these archives and find the original comment. That's when the CEO admitted he was changing the comments. The internet is not as safe as everybody thought it was to make comments. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media, High Plains Pundit Radio. We got one last commercial, and then we will be going commercial-free to the end of the show. We'll be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
Hey, it's Sean from the Sackheads Radio Show, also one of the owners here at the SHR Media Network. Are you opinionated? Have you ever wanted to do your own show? Have you ever heard somebody like the Sackheads and go, yeah, I could probably do that better? Well, now's your chance. Send me a 5-minute clip at sackheadsradio@gmail.com, and maybe you can be part of the SHR broadcasting team. sackheadsradio@gmail.com.
Now, Brownells, we know you may have only one shot to harvest that trophy, so we have thousands of accessories and replacement parts to improve your chances. We know how much you love to shoot, so our gunsmiths articles and videos will help you do more and get more out of your guns. And we also value your hard work and money. That's why only Brownells backs up everything we sell with a 100% unconditional lifetime guarantee. Brownells, the world's largest supplier of firearm accessories and gunsmithing tools.
The bloviating Zeppelin. He's big-footed enough radio shows to last a lifetime, courtesy of Sean, Clint, Ken, and Jersey Joe. Now it's time for him to waddle on his own 2 feet. Via the glorious SHR Media. Gird thy loins for the bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon. Coming soon to Ossicles near you. Excelsior.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. You didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying cough from a stupid program.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reaverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm trying to make sense out of the senseless. Well, it's almost the weekend for me. Well, for everybody. Well, not everybody. My wife and daughter come back tomorrow, so I'm really happy about that. I understand they had to go away, but I hate when they go away. So Alan Dershowitz, probably butchering that name too, his bigotry of the far left has to be called out, and Obama hasn't done enough. Now, this is also a diehard Democrat. What was he? An avowed supporter of the Democrat Party. He endorsed Hillary Clinton in 2008 and later endorsed the party nominee Barack Obama. But he has come out and, listen, is there a far right? Is there this alt-right, quote unquote? I hate that term, alt-right. Yes, there's people that are just too far to one side, and the left has the same mirror group. And Alan Dershowitz was on CNN Tuesday night, the CNN Tonight Show, and criticized Barack Obama for not calling out Black Lives Matter and Representative Keith Ellison for their bigotry. And we on the liberal side have to call out the bigotry on the left as strongly as the people on the right have to call out the bigotry on the far right. I give that man credit because he wants to see it equal. What happens for one needs to be done for the other. Because what happens right now is the left cries about everything going on the right. But they're silent about the exact same stuff happening in their own goddamn party. And Barack Obama hasn't done enough. He hasn't done enough in calling out Black Lives Matter. And I'm sorry, you can tell me all you want they're peaceful. No, they're not. You cannot hold these protests and then try to distance yourself from the violence that happens in your protest. You have these protests and you have people screaming, what do we want? Dead cops. When do we want it? Right now. And pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon. You go all these violent chants. And then when people go out and do it, and you're having people with ties to Black Lives Matter attacking cops, calling for assassination of cops, and the president's out there commending Black Lives Matter. You can't do that. You have Keith Ellison, who is a diehard anti-Semitic. I just... You have it on both sides, and you need to call it out. It's absolutely ridiculous anymore. Anti-Trump Mavericks owner Mark Cuban was spotted having a private meeting with Stephen Bannon. Nobody knows what's going on, but he held a private meeting at a little look like outdoor cafe. It was first reported by TMZ, and it was November 22nd, sparking rumors that Cuban was testing the waters for a reapproachment. The guy is a opportunist. He went after Trump left, right, and center. But even before that, he was asking to be Trump's vice president. Then he doesn't get any acknowledgement, nothing. He goes into a hissy fit and becomes anti-Trump all of a sudden. Now that Trump's won, Mr. Mark Cuban, who said he would rather lose all of his money, now seems to be trying to kiss up to Donald Trump. Kind of funny. Hell, you have, who the hell is it? Where is he? Robert De Niro is backing off his tough guy Trump talk. The tough guy actor, is now walking back his punch Trump in the face comment. He's going to take a wait-and-see approach now. And that his comments to punch him in the face, which was done in a PSA, was more symbolic than literal. And that anybody would want to punch him in the face after the things he said on the campaign trail. Now he's let's see what he's going to do. He is also one that called Trump a dog, a pig, a bullshit artist, a mutt who doesn't know what he's talking about, totally nuts, and an embarrassment to this country. Oh. Yeah, that's kind of funny. Tokyo has been hit for the first November snowfall in 54 years. Imagine if we didn't have this global warming. There would have been like 20 years of straight snowfall in Tokyo. We would have had a blizzard this year in Tokyo if it wasn't for global warming. I'm so sick of this bullshit. Trump is putting NASA back to space exploration and taking it away from the global warming bullcrap. Good. That's what NASA is supposed to be doing. Trump's not saying he's going to do away 100% with anything looking into the environmental aspects, but he's saying NASA needs to go back to space exploration. Listen, and most of us on the right, yes, we don't believe in this man-made global warming bullshit. There's so much false information pushed around. 97% of the scientists agree. No, they don't. That is a misquote of the facts. something Obama has done very often. I've gone over the show very often. For those that haven't heard it before, that 97, 93, I've heard different numbers. Basically, scientists who wrote a paper on global warming were asked to reevaluate their papers, and 90-some% of them still believed that their paper was correct, that global warming was man-made. Not that 97% or whatever the percentage was of scientists think there's actual global warming. It's that they believe that their paper was right. So what happened is you had a bunch of scientists, like high school students, asked to grade their final report, were given the answers, and asked to grade their paper. So 97% of them gave themselves an A++. Now you have a small percentage, 3%, failed themselves, said that our paper is wrong. Maybe if they didn't push these exaggerated, the sky has fallen, Chicken Little claims, people might take them a little bit more serious and the issue a little more serious. Every prediction, every model has failed. There's people graduating high school last year that have never seen a degree of warming. It's a money-making pyramid scheme, and that's all it is. It's like, what, $22 billion the U.S. spends at $320 billion globally. Politics should stay the hell out of the science and let science prevail. Science is a never-ending question. And this, it's done, it's over with, there's no more discussion. That's not science. That is the exact opposite of science, people. They're still talking, questioning, going over Einstein's theories. I'm trying to see what else there is. Also, now the left is trying to say that Trump now believes that man-made climate change is real and that he's softening on global warming. No, he isn't. It's the left pushing false to try to cause problems. They've been doing it since day one of his life. Oh, his transition team doesn't know what they're doing. They're behind the 8 ball. They are so far behind every single transition team. They've only named the most people in the quickest amount of time. Oh, they're real far behind. Oh, yeah. Don't believe the news, people. Look your information up. And look it up at several different sites. Don't go to one spot. Go looking at different spots. But with that comes the end of the show. I will be back Monday, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio. I want everybody to have a great weekend. And I will see you Monday, bright and early. You've been listening to the Reaver of Common Sense with its host, Jersey Joe. You can tune in every day, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on hppundit.com and shrmedia.com.